What's happening, y'all? The beloved Fade and Flow fam, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, staying subscribed, and engaging with all our content. I just want to give you a few updates. The Barber Blueprint book is available. The ebook is available. Pre-order the print. I'll throw in the ebook and the audio for you for a limited amount of time. For a limited amount of time, I'll do that. And it's been a process of publishing it, recording the audio, and everything involved with getting it out. I have a live Q&A coming up this upcoming Sunday, September 3rd at 9 a.m. I'll be doing live Q&A, answering questions on the book and any pressing questions that you may have about the barber industry. Whatever issues, questions involving the barber industry or service industry overall. Personal trainers, tattoo artists, any independent contractor, let's talk, let's figure out solutions, and let's increase your income. That's the plan. You know what I mean? We want people to be making money out here. We don't want you struggling. We don't want you dealing with the things that I had to deal with 20, 10, 15 years ago. I put almost every framework that I can think of that helped me level up in life in the Barber Blueprint book. And whatever blind spots may be in the book, I'm willing to answer on cam, live on Instagram and YouTube. Without further ado, let's bring this tutorial with my man Halal Paper. Assalamu alaikum, Aki. For those that are in the Western New York area, continue to book at Fade and Flow with the Fade and Flow Barbers. They are highly skilled, highly reasonable, and super nice people, man. Love you guys. Miss you, man. Miss you all. Mr. West has been holding down the fort. Happy anniversary to Mr. West. Happy anniversary to CDB too. Happy birthday to P, man. There's a lot going on. I think Reg just came back from vacation, so I look forward to tapping back in with you guys. Shout out to Mandy Bland. Shout out to Gav as well. And I think that's it. Let's get into it. The taper tutorial with my man Halal Paper, man. The Blueprint book is available. Get it now. Pre-order the print now, and you will be able to get the audio and the ebook. I will send it directly to you. All right, let's get it. We're back. Tutorial time. I know it's been a while, but this one is an action-packed one. I'm going to give my guy Halal Paper a tutorial with the curly top. I'm going to give him a taper, not a tutorial, with the curly top and get him right. Halal Paper and I go back about 5-6 years. He's been highly influential in my transition and self-development. Once upon a time, we were roommates. He's from Jersey, I'm from Buffalo, so just imagine like two guys connecting from two different places and sharing a common goal of health, wellness, spirituality, and I appreciate him very much for all that he's done for me and for appearing in this tutorial. This is one of the last cuts I did while I was in Buffalo, one of them, and I'm gonna lace him up, get him right. Right here I start with my Gold FX Pro trimmer, making that first guideline, balding out the area above the beard and right in front of the ear. Making sure that line is nice and tight and no hairs are left behind. And that is the beginning of our taper. So the line that I make is kind of symmetric with his corner line, which I'm gonna come back and blend out in a second. Don't be afraid to move your clients so that you can service the hair. And I brought out the back line there. Same deal on the left side, using the trimmers to create the line in a motion where I'm just cutting a little bit of hair at a time above the sideburn and not going above the ear, symmetric with the corner line. My Babyliss FX Golds are adjustable. I'm taking out that first line with my blade fully closed, the top of the beard line with my blade fully closed, and the bottom of the taper line with my beard fully closed, kind of like in a circular motion so that the taper has like a burst effect on it. left side. The reason why I go from the right to the left is just so that I'm going through the same steps and everything is kind of fresh in my mind. Whereas like I'm not doing the right side, then doing some other type of work and coming over to the left side. I want to go through my steps in order where everything looks symmetric and both sides can match. Proceeding to do the same steps on the back taper using my Barbers FX adjustable, and here I'm adjusting the lever a little bit, just getting a head start on blending out that bald line. When I was a young barber, I'd get confused and scared seeing people taper like this because it just looks from a distance and even on cam it just looks bald. But trust me, when you adjust that blade, it creates the blend, and you want the blend to look blurry. For you to create a blurry blend, you'll have to have barber eyes to see the difference between the length of the hair, especially when it's short like this. So do not be afraid, do not be scared. I know that some barbers can go too high trying this method. It works for me, especially with getting that bald line out. You want that line to be as blurry as possible. Right here I'm using my cordless fast feeds with a 3 guard, just so I can separate the top curly part from the taper part and work my way down a little bit. Same steps on the back, using a 2 this time to separate the hair that will be high and curly from the hair that will be tapered and blended. This camera angle is actually perfect for you to see the difference between the section that will be curly and the section that will be tapered out. I'm going to do the same steps on the left side. And going with the grain in the direction that the hair grows, just so I can smooth it down. Now you can kind of see the difference between the section where the hair will be curly and where the hair will be tapered on the side as well. Same steps with a shorter guard, smoothing it down, working my way down the mountain from the high hair down to the short hair. The way this blend is coming together is pretty seamless. It's a combination of knowing what the guards do, knowing what your blade can do. My fast feeds are not zero gap, and I usually just work my lever as I go, so it may seem like I'm not going through the steps. However, and just slapping guards off and putting them on, you know, it just comes with time. Again, knowing what the guards can do, knowing what your blade can do, and just cutting the hair in the direction that it grows. I know that it's kind of like going back, so I'm smoothing it down by going with the grain, and I'm blending it by going against the grain here. Taking the guard off and going with my blade fully open, just to kind of blend out that bottom taper a little bit. I typically use my fast feeds for anything blending above A1. And just slap on my 1 guard just to take down the extra hairs on top. I also have to keep in mind that there may be some beginners or some people that are not within the cosmetic industry watching this video that are looking to get in, learn about barbering. We would have to go through the process of showing you the difference between a blade that cuts open and a blade that cuts closed. A blade open cuts less hair, a blade closed cuts more hair. A higher guard cuts less hair, a lower guard cuts more hair. So if you blend these two frameworks of using your lever and using your guards, you can put this together however it works for you, just to make a blend. Like, this is art. These are our tools, and each type of brush, each type of technique that you use to spray does a different thing on the canvas. It is the same with hair. So knowing what your clippers can do, knowing what your blade can do, and also having a little bit of experience and knowledge with different hair types. This hair type is pretty easy to blend, and I use like the same framework for almost every different hair type for blending. When it comes to texturizing and things like that, that's where it can become a little technical. But as far as like the actual fading process, once I was able to learn that with the Andis Masters, I carried those same techniques over to every other clipper that I use. There were some variables with how different clipper blades cut and things like that, but overall, you know, the fundamentals are still the same. Right here, I'm going against the grain on his mustache, which is the way of the Sunnah. The Prophet, may peace and blessings be upon him. So allow Paper likes to wear his mustache the same way. I'd even make a case that he can look Amish with this look. It is a younger look where you still have the beard and a light mustache. I've never been able to successfully pull this look off because my beard isn't super long, but it works for him. Also, what you saw me do was just taking out a little bit of the nose hair sticking out, which is part of the experience. You know, you don't want to leave any type of hairs. You know, I've been in different barbershops across the country where barbers have found out who I was, and then they're cutting like extra conservative, where it's just not sharp and defined. And you know, me being from the culture, let's rip the band-aid off. A black man from the hood, you know, we want a super defined haircut. We don't want a haircut that just looks like you just trimmed it and I went to like a big chain. I want that joint to have definition, be defined, be sharp. I don't want hairs on my cheek. I don't want hairs sticking out of my nose. I don't want hairs sticking out of my ears. Don't be afraid to get all that. I know a lot of barbers upcharge for those things, but where I come from is part of the haircut. And I'd say that I charge accordingly to be able to take care of, you know, whatever needs people have within the haircut. You know, facials and creams and washes are a different thing. But the haircut itself, I charge enough to be able to, you know, trim an eyebrow, take down a nose hair, take down an ear hair without it being an upcharge. All right, here's my technique that I got from Jimmy Stanfield a long time ago with taking down the front with an open blade, just so that my line ends up a lot more crispier. With the hair being curly on top, we don't want a cliff. I want there to be a line that can be defined. I don't want it to be like skin, then hair cliff. I want the hair to transition. Some type of transition from the line to the hair. So that is what I did right there with my blade open. And I'm going to use my FX trimmer to create a line that I'll double back and sharpen with my straight razor in a sec. All right, you see him checking it out, seeing it come together. I'm going to add more definition to his line with the straight razor. He didn't really need any cream or foam, just because I already used the trimmer. So basically, I just want to like get the stubble, take those extra hairs that may be sticking off, get those off, and really bring this line together to where it's defined and you can see it and it's super duper sharp. One of these days, when I get back behind the chair, I will make another razor line video so that you can see the technique up close. Typically when I use this technique, I keep the line as natural as possible. Now, if you are a fan of the channel, you have been seeing us do reactions. I like my tapers that have corners. Corners. Mr. West, do you see the corner right there? Now, I'm all good with like blending that C cup out, but as long as there's like a defined line coming down, like I want that line to be perpendicular with the end of my client's eyebrow. And that's usually how I do that. Smoothing it out just a little bit more so that the blend is a little blurry. But yeah, man, we gotta keep those corners, man. I'm gonna start a movement, man. Keep the corners, man. That's where we hustle, on the corner. Gotta protect the corner. Using my FX trimmer to define that back line, not going too high above the ear and not going too high in the back either. Going with the natural line, just defining it. Getting the area where it defines it without pushing it up too high. Same deal on the left side, adjusting my client so that I can see and I can get that line right where I need it to be. Sharpening up that left corner with my FX trimmer. Now a lot of people are probably going to say, why razor then trimmer? Well, if I see an issue with the line and I already have my trimmers in my hand, that's why I'm using a trimmer. It's just a barber thing. I would say from years of experience, that's just a thing. It would be time consuming for me to see whatever I saw, put my trimmer down, grab my razor, then go over it. That's too much. I already got my trimmers in my hand. I'm gonna hit that spot that I was looking at. Using my trimmer to line up the back and bottom of Halal Paper's beard, and we're keeping that as natural as possible. This won't be clearly defined, so as close to the ear as I can possibly get and as low down to the neck as I can possibly get. He wants to grow his beard and have as much beard as possible, and I got no issue with that. So we're not going to be doing any super defined thing where we are taking it up to the chin line, just trimming the hairs, the little stubble on the bottom. See how I'm not going up too high? Just a little bit of it on the bottom so it's clean. So Halal Paper could do its thing. Some razor work on top of the beard. We're preserving as much beard as possible. I'm doing it with no cream just to take this stubble off of his cheeks. This one won't be super defined. The goal is to preserve as much beard as possible. And that's what we do. Just making it so that there is a line there and that his cheeks are clear, and you can tell that there is a line without it being super defined. Alright, same deal on the right side of the beard. My razor is at a 40-degree angle. I'm just trimming down the top of the beard just enough to get the hair off my man's cheeks, preserve as much beard as possible, and make it so that there is a line there. Doing it without any type of foam or any type of gel allows me to, like, that dry line has a little bit more definition, and it really depends on the skin, the temperature of the shop, or whatever's going on. In this case, I decided to use it dry just so I could define the line. And the rest of the hair, the stubble, I use my trimmer on that just so I'm not like scraping my man's cheeks crazy. You know, it can be painful going over that hair without any gel. So I just wanted to do it to where the line and make the process as painless as possible. Using my cold shaver, foil shaver, just to get any stubble that the trimmer or the razor may have missed, and smoothing it out so that there is no hair there. I'm applying the Cantu Coconut Curling Cream. Can you say that fast 3 times? And just enough in there to make the hair curly. If you put too much in there, it'll be all white and slimy, and I don't like that. This item that I'm using right here gets the hair curly. The sponges are played out, guys. Do not use the sponge anymore. Use this tennis racket looking thing. You can disinfect it. You can use it on different people. And then a little oil just to shine it up a bit. And now that thing is getting curly, 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 curly. Adding a little bit of enhancement, my black ice, brown spray, just to give that line a little bit more sharpness and definition, and you can definitely see the difference. You know, it's not too much spray to where, you know, he's looking crazy. But just enough where it looks natural and that line has some definition where the light spots are. Typically, he doesn't do enhancements, but this right here definitely made that line pop out. And let's show in the mirror and see what it's looking like. Yeah, my man is back in the game. Curly taper with the sharp line there. Let's get it slow motion. All right, hair is curly, doesn't look like a Easy E Jerry curl. Line is crispy and defined. I wanted to get a close up right there, the beard of the definition. Everything is symmetric and right. Halal paper is living the halal life right there. Appreciate you for tapping in. Check out this message right. This is the Barber Blueprint. I'm not your normal internet guru. I'm a guy that's really in the trenches, really been through it, and I look forward to you getting some value from my story and from my journey as a barber in this game. I'm not standing here the guy that's promising you that you're gonna be a millionaire, but what I am promising you is that you'll be a better barber if you apply the jewels in this book, the Barber Blueprint.